Surprise, motherfucker! What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venger Satanis, and I just want to give a little update on the Gamehole Con um, wokeness uh, thing. Gamehole Con put out that Pride Progress rainbow flag with their logo. And Alex Kammer, one of the owners of the Gamehole Con convention, said that if you're upset about this, then don't come to the convention. We don't want you here. We don't want your money. We don't want your business. No need to come. And so I'm not, and I'm boycotting the convention. Even if it's just me, I know other people are upset about it too. But I don't even think at this point that a boycott will affect their numbers that much. I'm just doing it mostly on principle and just to take a stand against the radical leftism that has infected this hobby and the wokeness that's infected this hobby since, I don't know, starting like 2014, maybe you started to see it. I can't see that post on Facebook. If you go to my blog, I'll put the link in the description below. You can see the image that was also sent to me. But I do. So I was blocked by Alex Kammer, which is why I can't see that post. And I know for a fact that several people who have posted in that thread on the Gamehole Con Facebook group have had their comments deleted because it goes against the radical left narrative. That sucks. And obviously, it stifles free speech. And if only one side of things is available to people, is publicly shown, then nobody gets to see, the counter argument. Nobody gets to see another perspective. And that's what the left wants. They want complete homogeny of thought. They want everybody to fall in line. They want everybody to be pure. Every litmus test, make sure that, they're like NPCs. Everybody has to think exactly alike. There can only be one thought, one agenda, one set of beliefs, one set of values. One overarching principle and one religion, which is their secular religion of wokeness, of secular progressivism. And if you go back, you can see, look at the Twilight Zone episodes from the 1950s. They're clearly showing that totalitarianism is bad. Authoritarianism is also bad. And it's funny because they always preach like, "Oh, you guys on the right, you guys are the Nazis. You guys are the fascists." But they're the ones that are actually acting fascistically. Those are the ones that are championing Nazi ideals, where there's only one viewpoint, and everything else is squashed, not tolerated, zero tolerance. That's what modern day liberals, progressive radical left liberals believe, and that's what they want, and they would do us harm if they could. It's it's all part of the, because it's not just about sex. It's all part of the whole radical left agenda. It's Marxism. It's communism. Um, it's the destruction and the decentralization of America. They want all the factions and everybody fighting. They want the whole system destroyed so they can remake it into their awesome, fabulous utopia where, I don't know, in their minds they think like, oh, everybody can go to drag queen brunch and have mimosas all Sunday, and then the rest of the week is just like a 10-hour work week, and you just take what you want and go into stores and loot and steal whatever you want, and then the rest of the days is just fucking, I guess. And I don't know. I don't know what else they're gonna do with their time. Make game that I don't know. Make games. Um, write shitty story games that with political activism that nobody wants, and then just like have sex all the time. Is that with like minors and brothers and sisters and goats and men and women and thruples and orgies and everything else, and I guess the government just pays for it or something. I don't know if that's their vision of utopia or not, but it seems like in their head that's probably what's going on. If looked at through their rainbow tinted spectacles, but obviously we know from history what the real revolution leads to. The reality, not the utopia. Um, Gulags, re-education camps, prisons, torture, public executions, um, all that stuff and more. And so now that we know that, we can go. Sorry, there was a slight interruption in the broadcast. That's fine. Now that we know that, we can fight against it because we know what mass graves. That's what the great it starts with progressivism. Well, first it starts with liberalism, then progressivism, then I don't know, somewhere in there, democratic socialism, and then actual socialism, and then communism, and then you're standing in front of a mass grave, thinking like, I was a good little automaton that believed everything the state told me to believe. I sucked the corporation's dick as hard as I possibly could and licked all the boots of the Antifa and BLM grifters and thugs, and I did. I took the money from George Soros, and I did everything I could to be a good little leftist. Um, but maybe I don't know. Maybe they wanted to spare their family, or maybe their best friend had like 95% of the right opinions, but 5%, some sort of reactionary white supremacy or something like that. But bad, wrong thoughts, and they tried to protect them. They said something in public that went against the great leftist orthodoxy. And then you're standing in front of a mass grave, about to be shot in the head, unless there's a run on ammunition, in which case they'll just curb stomp you with their boot until your skull cracks and you're fucking dead. And then they'll just kick your body into the mass grave along with all the rest of them, the rest of the anti-revolutionaries. the resistance, the true resistance against you know, the dark Brandon regime, and then there'll be that. It'll be done, and you'll be over, and you'll probably just live long enough to see the horrors that have been unleashed. When nothing means anything and everything means nothing, and there are no rules and no more laws except for what the establishment tells us. There's only the state. There is no God. There is no other hierarchy. Um, there are no family units. There is no natural or moral law. There's only what Big Daddy government tells us, and there's only following orders and believing everything that we're told. Otherwise, you get executed, or like I said, get sent to a re-education camp or a gulag or prison, or maybe just tortured until you agree that 2 + 2 = 5. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I'm going with this. It's if you think for one moment that I am against the Rainbow Progress flag and Game Holcon's embrace of it in rejection of everybody who's upset by it, if you think that's just because, like, oh, I don't like gay people or something like that, or um, or any sexual proclivity that's weird or unorthodox. Obviously I'm against pedophilia. Um, but if you think that's what my problem is, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't care. I don't care where you want to stick your junk. I don't care who you like or whatever. It's not about that. There's a reason why the White House and the current administration are flying the Progress Pride flag all over the place, everywhere except Saudi Arabia. So in all their embassies and at the Capitol and things like that, it's because it's a political movement. It's part of their empire. It's the distillation of what they think is best about America, and it's their attempt to destroy America, like I said, so it can be rebuilt. And that's one of the many reasons that I don't support it. Along with the transgenderism, where nobody can know what a man or a woman is. And they want to groom our children through indoctrination at school and things like drag queen story hour. Don't worry, there's going to be more. It's not just going to be about drag queens, and it's not just going to be about story time at libraries. It's not just going to be like drag shows, period. Because it started with the drag queen story hour, and then family friendly drag shows, and then it's just going to like escalate, because the slippery slope is a real thing, and it never stops. It never stops sloping. It's going to keep going until we live in the pods and we eat the bugs, and our children are just like given over to the states to eventually have sex with, because it's not like the meme. It's not rocket science. They're just evil, and they want to diddle kids. That's, in essence, that's true. Not all of them. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody that's flying a rainbow flag or that believes in a progress rainbow pride symbol is a pedophile or condones that. But you're covering for that kind of thing. You're taking part in the greater whole that contains that evil. It contains quite a bit of it. So yeah, not all rainbows, but still, there's a lot of that going around. I was reading that thread. Um, I don't know. I can try to put it down there in the description below. Maybe I can, maybe I can't because I'm blocked, so I probably can't link to it. But if you go to the Game Holcon page and you can try to post your dissent. Good luck. Like I said, I know several people that tried and failed. Um, but the one person that did push back just the tiniest little bit, everybody came out of the woodwork to at first try to destroy this guy. Like, what? What? You have a problem with it? Maybe you should just get out of here, bigot. Which we've heard, I've heard thousands of times. Anytime you have the slightest opposition to one aspect of what people on the left are saying, they, brandish you as a bigot or a racist or a whatever, phobe or ist, and then, you know, then they try to send you out into the darkness. They try to cancel you. If they can, they'll try to ruin you, get you demonetized and deplatformed, definitely kick you out of their spaces. Because they're so inclusive. They're so inclusive except for all the bigots. It's just really, really unfortunate that something like 40% of the country are bigoted and have regressive or reactionary or white supremacist views. But that's just the way it goes. If you want to be the most inclusive, you have to exclude at least 40% of the country. So millions and millions of people. It's unfortunate that's how inclusivity works, but that's true. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, there's a nice piece in that thread about thought police and how that's white supremacy, because we can't control your thoughts or read your minds and know what you're thinking yet. And obviously, if they could, they would punish you for that. If you had a wrong thought, they would try to, eventually delete you. And if you express that thought, oh my God, well, that's violence. That's hateful content. That's violence. That's white supremacy. And that's why you get shunted out into the cornfield. Because you spoke up with views that go against the liberal orthodoxy, the leftist establishment. And that cannot be tolerated. It's awful what's happening. It's really, the breaking down of our country. It is trying to destroy America. And if we can't even agree on what men and women are, that's how our whole society, everything about our culture is based on us, on humans, and the binary of men and women. And if you try to take that away, as Michael Knowles might say, you take away everything. The family is the original and the smallest political institution. And if you take away men and women and families and normality and decency and conservative values and objective reality and even science, if you take all that away, then you're one step closer to your beautiful, fabulous, stunning, and brave leftist utopia. But I am going to stand in the way. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to just. Another friend was like, yeah, but it's June, it's Pride Month. Like, why don't you just let it go? Because, every corporation is doing this. So, why bother? And if it was just the logo itself and nothing else, I probably would have let it go. But it's the words attached to that logo by Alex Kammer that I just cannot let go. And they've upped the ante. They've brought the fight to me. I'm going to stand my ground, and I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to give my money. Don't give money to people or corporations that hate you. That's just it. End of video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, also share this video, and share the one before where I first broke the story, and let the world know that Game Holcon is gone woke. I'm not trying to look for them to go broke. I just want some accountability, and I want to help push the pendulum back to the other way. By next year, we'll be over the hump, and we'll see a return to normalcy, I predict. But I think the role playing game hobby industry community will unfortunately be the last to wake up and realize, like, oh my god, this is fucking awful, and we're losing our country, and we're incentivizing the worst parts of our culture. And until then, we just suffer through and keep doing what we're doing, keep hope alive, and embrace family, faith, and freedom. I guess that's all we can do. Also, attend VengerCon. You can do that. July 21st to the 23rd. I would love to have you. If you want a non-woke gaming convention that specializes in old school OSR and traditional role-playing games, then please consider attending VengerCon. And I'll put the link in the description below for that too. Okay. Enjoy your Sunday.